Cain withdrew his name today as a candidate to serve on the Federal Reserve. He didn't withdraw because he was incompetent or sick or because he was shown as an unsuitable pick. He dropped his bid because he was blackmailed into doing that. Attorney Gloria Allred teamed up with a woman who said she once had an affair with Cain, and the two said they would expose him to public humiliation unless he withdrew his name.
Ginger, if asked at the United States Senate Banking Committee hearing, will also be willing to identify certain parts of Mr. Cain's body to corroborate her testimony. This testimony will not be necessary if Mr. Cain withdraws his name from the vetting process and/or the President decides not to formally nominate him.
Jason Nichols is a professor of African American Studies at the University of Maryland, and he joins us tonight. Professor, thanks for coming on. So
Thank you for having me.
You said pretty clearly you are not a fan of Herman Cain. You don't think he should have gotten this job.
Absolutely.
You don't support Herman Cain in any way.
I do not.
What do you think, given that, of what just happened to Herman Cain?
So, well, firstly, we have to say that Herman Cain says that it was about his pay cut or something is the reason that he withdrew his name. But if you take it what Gloria Allred just did, and I believe Gloria Allred has done some positive things in her career, you know, in terms of giving voice to people who are voiceless, but doing things like that actually undermine the movement, undermine what people like Tarana Burke and other people are doing in order to give voice to women.
So what do you think? I mean, because to me it looks like blackmail. She's saying we're going to show, we're going to depict your genitals,
right,
if you don't do what we want you to do, which is pull your name, and he clearly caved, understandably.
Right.
Do you want to live in a society where people can be blackmailed like that?
No, and I agree with that. I mean, there were credible allegations against Herman Cain, so we have to state that. You know,
credible allegations of what?
Sharon Bialek was a woman who said that Herman Cain had, you know, done some things that were really, really, you know, sexual misconduct. But the case.
But the one I read about was the one who said it was consensual.
Yeah, no, that is where it's problematic, is when you conflate something that is consensual with sexual abuse. When you conflate someone who's upset about not being acknowledged with someone who has been sexually assaulted. And that's the big problem here. And what they did to, you know, to Herman Cain in that regard, saying that, you know, we're going to expose, you know, what your genitals look like, which he's an old black dude, I can pretty much kind of guess. But either way, that they're going to do that was totally wrong. And I would agree with you that Gloria Allred is actually undermining things. And I can tell you that I actually believe that this could be used against women in the future.
Well, you think?
This is going to be really problematic. This is actually going to hurt women. Men don't get body shamed the way women do. And so some dude who had an affair with Kamala Harris or you know, or with Liz Warren is going to say, you know, kind of threaten her in the same way. And I think this is really problematic. I think, you know, and again, the other thing about...
Well, it hurts men, if I could just also say, which is
sure,
every bit as bad as hurting women, because human beings are equal
right,
in their inherent importance.
And I will say one other thing, and that is, you know, it seems, unfortunately, for the right price, you had someone like Lisa Bloom, who is Allred's daughter, who actually supported Harvey Weinstein and was talking about putting things out against Rose McGowan and other people who were fighting the Me Too movement and fighting that fight that was so positive. She was actually supporting Harvey Weinstein for a while.
Of course, because she was getting paid. I mean, they're obviously.
Yeah, and it's really troubling.
But why do we take them seriously? I mean, they wouldn't exist without the media giving them airtime and nodding, oh, they're advocates for women. They're advocates for themselves. They're totally dishonest, obviously.
I mean, I want to, like I said, you know, I want to believe that there's some sincerity there.
You're a good man, Professor Nichols.
I just think that they're making a big mistake in what they're doing, and the way they're handling it.
I don't think they care. But I admire your high hopes for them. Anyway, good to see you, Professor. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Tucker.
Well, a year ago, the creepy porn lawyer was traveling aboard a luxury private jet. It was his. How did he afford that? Well, we know the answer. We're going to tell you tonight.